So I decided to build a custom Viv. We started with a huge timber frame. It's about 7'2". This is like a bomb site. There's the existing vivarium that I've been using for the last 6 or 7 months, which was perfectly adequate. But I just thought it was time to give them a bit more height because my water dragons are arboreal and they like to climb, and I didn't really have much height in the last vivarium. So we basically built the frame and then we clad it like a big wardrobe, I suppose, in some boarding. This particular boarding's water repellent, so it's quite good. However, we did give it a coat of varnish inside just to tighten it up, just to make sure it was definitely watertight. Just putting a lid together there. For the front, we managed to get hold of a shower cubicle with the door in the frame. We then added the frame to the door frame to the cabinet and secured it onto the timbers. I then put in a 40-litre container which we'll fill with water. Surrounded it with expandy foam, which we then give 3 coats of grout or 4 coats of grout, just to make sure it hardened up. It's me on the background there. We just used the styrofoam, non-toxic and fireproof. And again, we give it 2 or 3, maybe even 4 coats of grout, leaving it 24 hours to go off and harden before giving it another coat. And that just makes sure you get a nice hard coat at the end. Adding it to the bottom there as well as you can. So it's starting to go off. Like I say, it takes about 24 hours each coat to really harden up, but it gives you a really good finish. The styrofoam at the back, we just used a windproof lighter to give it a bit of bobbling like rocks. I then got some branches together which we cleaned and sanitized, and then set about trying to see where I was going to put them in the vivarium, make sure they fit, and it was starting to come together quite nicely at this point. I then give it a good coat of varnish again, 2 or 3 coats of really good yacht varnish, non-toxic again. Make sure it's safe to use with animals, and also make sure you give it enough time to really dry out. You don't want any of the fumes left in there when you put your reptiles back in. Making sure we get in all the little gaps with the varnish, making sure you get a really nice watertight seal on all of that expanding foam. It's definitely worth it in the long run to give it as much coverage as you can with the varnish. I then added a bit of fake planting in the top, and above that I was going to put some air vents. We put a bit of accent on the rocks. This was a water feature I was working on, and then decided in the end not to use it. I then added some colour changing lights just to give it a bit of atmosphere, if you like, a little bit of ambience. And I used some aquarium backing on either side, and introduced a couple of shelves in there, which we would use later on in the work. That's my daughter there, Shannon, who helped us putting in a few finer touches. I then added a fogger just to make sure that the moisture was kept high within the cabinet, the humidity. And I think you'll agree it looks pretty good with the dark lights on. We use them at dusk behind the plants there. There's going to be lots of room for the lizards to climb about in and play about in, and a nice big bath for them to jump in. The little one of the two loves jumping in. I call him Tom Daly because that's what he tends to do all day, every day, jumping in the water. The other guy, he's pretty laid back. So this is it with a colour change setting. Obviously it won't be on like out in the lizards are in. I'll change it manually. Different times of the day I'll have different lighting in there. So this is it finished. We've done the big switch on. We've got the basking lights in and the UV lights and such like. They seem to really like it. There they are up on the shelf. Looking pretty happy underneath the fogger, which keeps your humidity really high. I've got a good filter in the bath there just to make sure it's nice and clear, nice and clean for them. There's the fellas there. I'm not quite sure if they're male or female or both female. I think the bigger one's a male. He's got quite a crest on the back of his head, but the little one I'm not so sure. He or she is called Tom Daly, and that's the way it's going to stay. The one closest to the camera loves jumping into the pool. So that's my vivarium. All in all, it took about a week and a half, maybe, to build. 7 foot tall, cost about £250. Extra for the filter and such like, but I think you'll agree it's turned out pretty good. I hope you like it. Leave some comments in the description, in the comments below. And yeah, happy reptile keeping, and good luck if you decide to build one. Draw some plans, the best thing you can do.